What's going on, everyone? This is Crater and Ron here with another This Week in Wrestling, episode 17, where we talk about everything happening in the world of wrestling, mainly WWE, but we probably talk about a bunch of other topics today because, per example, as we do this stream, I completely forgot. Thanks for Ron for telling me. The New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax in the USA is airing today, and I had no idea.
Yeah, so I'm actually I'm not going to dip out. I'm going to stay on here. Like for me, I have two screens. So when 8 o'clock shows up, I'm going to turn on my stream to watch this, and I'm going to be watching this while talking to y'all at the same time.
Yeah. So trust me, guys, Ron will still be here. It's just if you don't see his face or whatnot, it's because he's also as he just explained, he's watching G1 Climax. But before the event actually starts, and I know one of the main events. I mean, I don't follow New Japan as much as I do WWE, obviously, but I did know that one of the matches, it's the tournament for the New Japan Pro Wrestling United States Championship. Now I do know some of the people in there, like Jack Sabre Jr., Kota Ibushi, are in there, and Kenny Omega. So who do you think is going to win for the United States title, for the inaugural New Japan Pro Wrestling United States title?
For some reason, I feel like they have to give it to Omega because of the fact of maybe they might try to do something of United States title. Him trying to prestige it as more like his world title. Deal. Yeah, he'll make it like his own big deal, whatever. Because there's no telling when he's going to have another opportunity for the actual New Japan Pro Wrestling or the IWPG Championship. There's no telling when he's going to get another opportunity. The fact that he had two
and failed both times.
Well, I won't necessarily fail both times. The first time, yeah, but the second time that went to a draw. Okay, that was just so no one won that match. If anything, like there was if they gave him 5 more minutes, that could have been a winner right there, and people actually wanted it like 5 more minutes, but they just decided to keep it as a draw and move on. So, I don't know what they're gonna do with Kenny. I feel like Kenny should be holding some type of title, if anything, and he doesn't. I mean, for some reason, I feel like he's better just holding the Intercontinental.
Has he ever held a title? He held the Intercontinental.
Yes, he held the Intercontinental. I think he held a tag team. I'm not 100% sure. I know he held the Intercontinental belt for a while.
Gotcha. Yeah, I had no idea. But yeah. So I mean, if he does one, that is an interesting theory. I mean, that's how you prestige titles too. I mean, you got to put someone as top.
Yeah, but the main event, and another reason why this United States title, before I talk about the other match, the other thing about the United States title is this is your way of putting it on the line, not only for just New Japan Pro, but also for Ring of Honor, because Ring of Honor and New Japan are contracted together, and whatever like the United States title is like a Ring of Honor title as well as New Japan Pro. Like when they announced it at a Ring of Honor show. So this is like a co-op thing.
I got you.
So I'm pretty sure that when you win this belt, not only are you putting it on the line and New Japan shows, you also got put on the line and Ring of Honor shows.
So essentially, I mean, I do know about the whole Ring of Honor New Japan like alliance thing or whatever. I didn't. So essentially, what you're saying, they're kind of like almost like the brand split with Raw and Smackdown, where they're pretty much joined together. Because don't they have like a joint pay-per-view together?
Yes and no, because they do have, they do have the best of the worlds, and what's the other one? War of the Worlds. I mean, I'm sorry, Best of the Worlds is another thing. They just had that one. Okay. War of the Worlds is their thing where it's the Ring of Honor New Japan Pro thing, but it's more than that because majority of wrestlers from Ring of Honor, when they ask me to, do go to Japan to wrestle there, especially if you have a title shot. So like sometimes like Jay Lethal has been over there, Michael England, who was in Ring of Honor at the time, he's been over there. War Machine actually lost their belts in New Japan because I think they were the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, and they lost it in Japan to I want to say the Young Bucks, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh no, they lost it to someone else. I'm sorry. I can't. My mind's a little.
No, man, it's fine.
So like some wrestlers from Ring of Honor will go to New Japan Pro Wrestling to actually wrestle there, and then sometimes if their schedule is free, most New Japan Pro wrestlers like Kasuda, who's actually went to Best of the Worlds last month, he faced Samari Skull for his TV title and won. So like I said, it's one of those things where they can go back and forth. It's not necessarily a brand split. It's still the old separate things. But if someone's like, "Hey, we need one of you guys to come over here, wrestle, or whatever," then they'll do it.
Okay, I understand. Basically, if they need the talent over there, they'll bring it, and then vice versa for Ring of Honor. But that's cool though. You would think WWE would do the same, because I mean, I think their best their best partnership technically is like Evolve, right? That's pretty much. Well, they have like co-alliance.
Yeah, they have Evolve. Back in the old days, they actually did have a thing with New Japan Pro Wrestling. And everything, but that was years ago.
You talking when Ric Flair was still around and stuff.
Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, stuff like that. And I don't want to get too far off on this, but there's actually, I want to say it's either New Japan or All Japan, but there was an actual match that had is actually a two-parter match. And this is how awesome the story in the match was. So Habushi, also known as we remember Habushi from, well, you probably don't because he's kind of before your time. But Habushi was a Japanese wrestler. Oh, I'm about to look him up. I want to get his real name. Hold on. Man, apparently it's a band called Habushi. Oh, Hakushi. I'm sorry. That's my problem. But his real name, and he wrestles his name in Japan. His name is Jinsei Shinzaki, who I did actually meet before a couple of years ago. But yeah, he had wrestled a match in Japan versus the Great Muta.
Okay.
The Great Muta and him were they just have feud. Like they just Jinsei is the lights, and the Great Muta is pretty much the devil, stuff like that. And it was a really bloody match to a point where the Great Muta pretty much stabbed him and kind of killed him in a sense. Like he was laying in the ring, covered in his blood. Like he wasn't moving. And that's where these druids come out of nowhere and take him from the ring and take him to the back. And that was the end of the show. So the next day, it's like, well, what happened to Jinsei's? What's going on? The Undertaker comes out. The actual Undertaker, WWF Undertaker, comes out. And everybody's like, well, the Undertaker, what the hell are you doing here?
In Japan?
Yeah, in Japan.
Okay.
I think the WWF had a show in Japan that around that time, but they had sometime back then usually let them come in and do like some inter-promotional stuff because Hulk Hogan did it before, stuff like that. Macho Man had done it before, blah blah blah. But the Undertaker comes out, and then he calls out the Druids, and the Druids bring back the same Jinsei Sasaki, still bloody, pretty much wearing the same as that thing he wore yesterday, all bloodied and everything. Brought him right back out, put him in the ring. That's when Jinsei wakes up, and now he has to fight for his life against the Undertaker.
Huh.
It was actually a pretty interesting match.
You're definitely gonna have to link me to that.
Yeah, if I could find it, used to be on YouTube. I don't know if they took it down or not, but if I can find it, I'll send you the link.
Yeah,
it's one of those matches where you just like, huh, okay.
Yeah, we could know that that sounds like the 1980s, 1990s wrestling.
Oh yeah, that's
like
yeah.
Characters like Undertaker doing that shit. So that sounds like interesting to me. I need to definitely see that. Thank you for telling me that. For sure, I need to see that. Now I'm actually interested now. Like now, I mean, I guess we're gonna have to wait though.
I mean, look, we got podcast, and the fact that we actually started on time somewhat.
I know, yeah, somewhat. I mean, yeah, because we got it. I called Ron in early before, and like, because we can start on time if we wanted to. It's just sometimes
when we feel like it.
Yeah, it's like when we get carried away and stuff, we can actually start on time. But yeah, so before we actually get into our
don't bring up video games with us.
I know we might know, but in all seriousness, after because I felt like that was a good talk and conversation. Maybe somewhere down the line we might have like a half an hour dedicated to just talking about video games, maybe an hour. It all depends. Like just talk about video games, not just like wrestling video games, any type of video games possible. That was a good talk too. I mean, like sometimes you have to diverse yourself. That could be. Also, we could have like no, go ahead.
Also, I found it. I found the Undertaker one. I'm gonna send you that one. I'm gonna see if I can find the other one before that one, the one that took place before that.
I mean, if Undertaker was part of it, why wouldn't they put on WWE Network?
It's one of those. You know how sometimes the WWE Network has one of those things of.
I'm gonna say because they got wrestling promotions that they don't even own.
I guess they probably don't. I mean, I don't know. They I guess there's certain ones they can't get. Also, this is not. I think I'm Oh yeah, just Michinoku Pro Wrestling. Okay, so it's not Japan. It's Michinoku.
Okay, I got you.
All right, so that's that. Then I'm gonna see if I can find the match before that led to that. Yeah, so we can start the thing.
All right, yeah, no problem. I mean, all thing I was gonna say that before was that the only other piece of interesting news before we get into our reviews and stuff is for the first time on the show after 17 episodes, we're actually gonna reference Impact Wrestling for once, formerly known as TNA, because there was some interesting bit of news that come out of this week, and the fact that Impact Wrestling is gonna be rebranded as Global Force Wrestling.
Wait, what?
Yes, I know. It kind of got swept under the radar. Like it could actually, I think it was announced like 2 days ago. So I'll read the article. As noted earlier this week, Impact Wrestling has officially acquired Jeff Jarrett's Global Force Wrestling. So for those who are in the loss, what I'm trying to explain here, over on Impact Wrestling, basically what they've been doing was when Impact Wrestling got like rebranded by Anthem or whatever, when they bought it basically from Dixie Carter, they had Global Force Wrestling. I mean, Jeff Jarrett had Global Force Wrestling, and he decided to do like a co-thing with Impact Wrestling. So all like their titles, like the Global Force Wrestling title, the women's title, I think the tag team title, I don't know. I don't even know if they had a tag team title, but they brought them over here and they let some of their wrestlers hold them, or the whoever people who's contracted under Global Force Wrestling. Don't even ask why I know this stuff because I don't watch Impact Wrestling. But essentially, what they've been going on at Slammiversary, which is I think. That's right today. Hold on. What's today's date? Slammiversary. Okay, Slammiversary is tomorrow. Basically, what's going to be happening on Slammiversary is they're going to be unifying these titles. So let me just pull that up so I can understand somewhat. I can understand what I'm talking about. Slammiversary 2017. They only have like 2 pay-per-views a year now because they can't afford to. But I digress. Basically, yeah. So basically, what they're going to be doing is So they're going to be unifying the Impact Knockouts title and the Global Force Wrestling Women's title, and they're going to be unifying the Impact Wrestling Heavyweight title and the Global Force Global Championship, which is their main title in Global Force Wrestling. Before all this, I figured all they were trying to do is just get rid of the Global Force titles and just bring them over to Impact. However, after reading this article, it seemed like it's going to be reversed. So, main event, for example, which is Bobby Lashley versus Alberto El Patron for both titles, I figured Bobby Lashley was going to win so he can unify the Impact Wrestling and Global Force Wrestling title. Based on what this been saying here, it seems like Alberto El Patron is going to win, so he can unify that title, and it'll be known as Global Force Wrestling now, which is weird. It's irony because for those who don't know, Jeff Jarrett made TNA. Basically, he created.
Yes, pretty much. I'll just go for like this.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Global Force Wrestling is pretty much TNA without the letters T and A.
Exactly.
Okay, they just reverse the words to GFW. I've seen a GFW show before. They was wrestling in the baseball field.
Yeah.
No. when your main event, I want to say was Scott Steiner versus.
Oh, speaking of, Scott Steiner is on Slammiversary too.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. Because I did see a clip of this, and one of the worst things that could ever happen, and I this has a name for it now, is you get the Brian Christopher reaction.
I got you.
Okay, and the Brian Christopher reaction, for those who don't know, was a couple of years ago when The Miz and Jerry King Lawler had a program. Well, no, it was Michael Cole versus Jerry King Lawler. They had a program that led to a shitty WrestleMania match. And Michael Cole was trying to kind of digging into Jerry Lawler's skin. And he figured, oh, okay, let's bring out his actual son, who actually used to wrestle in WWE, who was Grandmaster Sensei. And he came out like Grandmaster Sensei used to. So he came out with the dancing, little white boy doing the thing, and no pop, no reaction.
I know. I mean, I actually love that though. I was popping when it was Grandmaster Sensei.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there were people. I'm pretty sure there were people who were at home and was like, "Oh my God, that's amazing! Oh wow, Brian Christopher!" In the arena.
Just the PG era. They don't know who the fuck these people are.
I won't even blame it that the segment was corny.
Oh yeah, I know. Overall, it was terrible.
The segment was just corny, and then it's like, oh, we bring out Brian Christopher, and you just like nothing, and then when you having him sitting there trying to put on a show, and it's so sad. So fast forwarding now to Scott Steiner, it's like, oh, Scott Steiner's here. Scott Steiner's in the Impact Zone. And the crowd goes meh.
Because it's like, who gives a shit?
It's like, Scott Steiner.
All TNA, see, I'm so used to calling it TNA. All Impact Wrestling is just essentially the final days of WCW.
Yeah, it's
why? See, no, Vince McMahon is trolling us. Why has he not showed up on Impact Wrestling yet? Because he could easily buy them out. It's like,
he could.
For God's sakes, I know he doesn't want to. It's not worth it. To be fair, the only reason why I can see him buying, or I should say Triple H, this man doesn't give a shit. I can see Triple H trying to acquire because then they can use the footage for like Samoa Joe and it mainly AJ Styles and Samoa Joe and Austin Aries. Because
if anything, the reason why they would probably do that, or they haven't done it yet, is because what's the point? Most of their buses are coming over here anyway.
I know. Essentially, no, I'm glad you brought that up. Here's the irony in what you just said. I find it's an interesting stat. Give me 1 second. I just found it so interesting. Let me pull up Impact's wrestling roster. They're alumni. Let me go through their alumni. I mean, they're alumni. I can never say it right, for God's sakes. AJ Styles, WE. These are okay. Yeah, AJ Styles went to WE. Al Snow is even back over here in WE. He was a backstage person and Impact Wrestling. Now he's back over there in WE. Austin Aries. Even Karma came over here, but now she went back, and then I don't know what's happening with her.
Karma is actually on Glow, the TV show. I mean, the Netflix show.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's I've heard of her.
Bobby Roode, and again, it's ironic how the way they treated Bobby Roode over there on TNA, and now he's treated like a legend over here in WE. It's all these guys that they misuse because they decided to take the irony of it. All the guys that they misused because they wanted to take our talent from WE, And once they come over to the UE, they're actually treated like they're freaking megastars. And I just find that amazing. Yeah, Bobby Roode. Who else? Drew. I guess you could say in a way, Drew. I said Drew. Yeah, Drew Galloway, which is Drew McIntyre, came back over here. Eric Young, who's I sent his condolences because his mother passed away this week. So
that's what find out what happened. Yeah,
that would explain why he wasn't even at the NXT tapings. Then Mickey James came back. Rhino came back. Samoa Joe is over here now.
And not to also mention, there's also some who also went to Ring of Honor as well, like Christopher Daniels.
Yep, I'm trying to.
Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah, especially Christopher Daniels too, because he's been there forever and he never won a champ.
I actually think there's something to remember. Cody Rhodes was actually on Impact for a while.
Oh,
I don't think he wrestles for Impact anymore.
Oh, but that's that was my point I was trying to bring up in terms of irony. Now they're trying. Now it's going to be known as Global Force Impact Wrestling. Global Force Wrestling. I don't know what it's going to actually officially be named, but they're basically going to be switching to Global Force Wrestling. The irony in all of this is that Cody Rhodes, he has one of their titles. He legally has one of their titles. Because for those who don't know, Cody Rhodes is currently the Global Force Wrestling Next Gen Champion, which is basically their second-gen title. Their secondary title in Global Force Wrestling. Cody Rhodes has the title. He doesn't even work for them anymore.
If anything, they either just scrap the title, he'll be known as the last champion.
Yeah, he doesn't have no choice because he has their title.
Or he can immediately forfeit it. Because I really feel like he doesn't care.
Of course
he's riding high
with freaking Ring of Honor in New Japan.
Yeah,
I know. It's how much. Which is one more interesting day before we actually
and other shows who are begging for him to come.
Exactly. Which brings my point. Who thinks gonna win between him and Okada tonight for IWGP World Heavyweight Title?
Now, this is Okada's first championship defense in America, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the matches that he's had in America, like in the World of Worlds, has been tag team matches and stuff like that. But never, or either tag team matches, or he didn't have the belt at the time. Because I'm looking at my poster now. I have a poster of World of Worlds when they were here back in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't the champion at the time. The champion at the time was AJ Styles.
Gotcha.
So he had a match, I think it was a tag match with Nakamura, and then he had another match by himself, but it wasn't for the belt. And other times when he did have the belt and he came over here, it was tag matches. This is like his first official, I think say like his first official title defense in America.
Mm-hmm. So do you think he might actually lose the title then, since it's his first defense, or?
Well, it depends on. I feel like it might depend on what they're going to do as far as this, because they have a chance to make history from where this is. Cody Rhodes can be the first ever double title holder between New Japan and Ring of Honor. Okay, so that that's one thing. I want Cody Rhodes to win, but in my heart, I feel like they might let Okada win.
So I think they're eventually going to give it to Omega, and then let him unify the United States. If he wins the United States title and the New Japan Pro Wrestling Heavyweight title, so I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? We'll find out eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this day is going to be happening. We're actually in less than a half an hour, so that should be interesting to see. We'll still be on air, but Brian will also be watching as well, so you can actually tell us the results if we actually go past overtime or what's going to be happening. So, yeah. And another bit of interesting news. Apparently, the WrestleMania 34 plans has changed. Did you hear about that, Ron?
No, I didn't hear about that either.
So essentially, remember, so now the Roman Reigns shit made sense from last week. Remember when Roman Reigns was talking out of his ass when he was saying how he beat all these people and he was like this delusional guy?
Uh-huh.
Now it makes sense because now I guess it's going to hold true when he says that whoever wins at Great Balls of Fire will face at SummerSlam, because apparently the plans has changed. The original plans for SummerSlam was going to have Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal title. Those plans have apparently been scrapped now. Instead, it is actually going to be, which was supposed to be for WrestleMania 34, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the United States title. I mean, I said United States title, for God's sakes. The Universal title. Imagine that, those two fighting for a mid-card title. But it's going to be Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam instead. Because apparently, the new main event for WrestleMania, which ties into the whole free agent John Cena thing, is going to be Roman Reigns versus John Cena for the Universal title. Now, this brings in a bunch of scenarios. So what the hell is Brock Lesnar going to be doing at WrestleMania then? He might fight Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, he might.
I don't want to put Nakamura anywhere near. Although, no. Because Nakamura has faced Brock Lesnar before.
I know, that's why I'm curious.
But at the same time, Brock Lesnar back then wasn't Brock Lesnar now.
Oh yeah, of course, obviously.
But also Nakamura back then wasn't Nakamura now either.
Exactly. That's why I said it'll be they're two different. They're completely two different people now.
Besides, so. I feel like they're holding Nakamura for AJ Styles. I feel like that's
why. Yeah. So I think I thought the original rumored penciled match for WrestleMania was going to be Shinsuke Nakamura versus John Cena for the Smackdown brand at least. So now it seems like what it might be if the match so obviously they teased AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura at SummerSlam. So if it does actually happen at SummerSlam, I don't know what's gonna happen at WrestleMania for SmackDown. It might be AJ Styles. It could be AJ Styles versus Bobby Roode if he gets called up. Because again, after the NXT taping results and whatever, I don't know. It might.
Well, it depends on.
It depends. If Bobby Roode goes, that's assuming the fact that Bobby Roode goes to SmackDown. But
yeah,
I'm just. It's a bunch of different scenarios.
But as far as Roman Reigns versus Cena,
yes, that's good. I mean, even though again, it's ironically probably will be the biggest match.
I think that match. Because I've seen somebody else talk about it, and it's like, who you going to cheer? Who are you going to boo? And everything. It's like it's one of those matches where I feel like Cena's going to lose. Because Cena is 39, I think, or 40. He's up there in age right now. He's also a part-timer.
Mm-hmm.
But Cena is at the point from where he's going to have to get ready to pass the torch.
Why it has to be Roman Reigns?
Why it has to be Roman Reigns?
Because he's a piece of shit.
It could be anybody else. But
it could be anybody else. It should be Seth Rollins or Dean Ambrose, if anybody. I know they would never give Dean Ambrose the light of day. So the next best option is Seth Rollins.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like with Seth Rollins, they're going to make Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is going to make Seth Rollins his own right.
I know. I mean, I do get your point. But like in terms of the face of the company, it's obviously going to be Roman Reigns because despite his critics, he gets the biggest reactions.
And the fact that they already spent the money
on this fucking guy.
Yeah,
he made it 3 WrestleManias straight.
Keep
Not
talking.
Even John Cena could say that.
Yeah, keep talking. I'm gonna be right back.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm just gonna get my pillow to my foot.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so basically what I was saying, guys, was for WrestleMania 34, we don't know the rumor. Now the rumor matches are just up in the air. The original pencil matches was Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title, and then John Cena versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE title. If the rumored match is going to be true with John Cena versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title, because I doubt it's going to be title versus title, that wouldn't make any sense because it would be the whole point of the brand split. What's going to happen on SmackDown? There's a bunch of scenarios. As I said, Bobby Roode, because I'm not going to spoil the NXT taping, but it's leading to believe that Bobby Roode will be called up to the main roster soon. If you just heard about the tapings of what's happening leading up to Brooklyn, and it would make sense because Shinsuke Nakamura, if you remember, he debuted the week of WrestleMania 32 at Dallas, and he stayed for 1 full year, almost a full year entirely, before he got called up to the main roster. So Bobby Roode, he debuted at Brooklyn, technically. He technically made his in-ring debut at Brooklyn. So who's to say right after Brooklyn, if he does lose the title, I'm not saying that he will, or his opponent, I'm not saying who his opponent's going to be, who's to say that he won't get called up to the main roster? I mean, because Bobby Roode is like, what? He's like almost 40 years old now. Bobby Roode, hold on, let me check. Bobby Roode he's 40 years old right now. So if you're gonna call him up to the main roster, now is the time. There's no reason why he needs. I mean, he literally did everything he needed to do. He literally did everything he needed to do on NXT. He beat Shinsuke Nakamura. He's holding the NXT title. He's held the NXT title for how many days now? I'm not saying he's going to break Finn Balor. He's not going to break Finn Balor's record, but he's going to be close to it. So, trying to look this up. Bobby Roode has held this title for how many days now? 154 days. So he passed Seth Rollins' reign. By the time he gets to Brooklyn, he's going to pass Big E's Langston's reign. He passed Kevin Owens' reign and Sami Zayn. He passed Samoa Joe's. He already passed Shinsuke Nakamura's. Both of his reigns combined, he passed. So it's like he's going to have to eventually get called up to the main roster. Again, he's 40 years old. It's like if he's going to get called up to the main roster, he's going to have to do it now. So I would like to think after sometimes, just like how Bayley got. I feel like both Asuka and Bobby Roode can be called up both at the same time, but they're going to be separated. Asuka's going to go to probably Raw. I can't see her going on SmackDown because I don't think they want her to face Charlotte, but they have no problem giving Asuka to Sasha or Bayley, so that'll be an interesting scenario. So I don't know. Maybe Asuka might go to Raw or Roode might go to SmackDown.
Well, as far as Asuka is concerned, speaking of Raw, she was just on the Raw tour.
Exactly, which makes me believe maybe. I mean, then again, she was on the SmackDown tour too for some time, so it's just I don't know.
Yeah, but the difference between the SmackDown tour and the Raw tour was SmackDown tour was actually her replacing somebody.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, the Raw tour was they just took Hideo and Asuka
because they were in Japan. That's why.
Yeah, but as far as I've said this before, and I don't know if you said it yet, but they have announced they have been doing a bunch of the Mae Young tournament.
Yes. Oh, I did qualifying.
The qualifying tournaments. But they also have been doing some people who's going to be there, like people who probably who's already said, "Oh, I'm already going to be here," and they already have Asuka too.
Exactly. It's about that. The other Japanese girl, which I'm about to bring up her name right now. It is Kairi Sane, which is her name over here. Her original name was what was her original name? Fuck. God damn it. It doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. Just like how Asuka's name, her original name doesn't matter anymore.
I actually forgot her original name.
That's my point. Like Finn Balor's versus Prince Devitt, it doesn't matter anymore.
I've been so used
to that's my point.
Wow, you actually bring up a good point. I've been so used.
Once they come to WWE, they're old. I mean, Jerry. It's funny because Jerry Lawler, all people say this. Just said this. It doesn't matter what you do. Once you get to WWE, that's all that matters. You could have been champion for years in other promotions.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
It means nothing once you go to WWE. It's like a whole new start. Like again, Prince Devitt, who was Finn Balor. People always remember it's Finn Balor now, not Prince Devitt. Kenta, which is my bad. Hideo Itami. I'm actually eating something, guys, while I'm up here.
I know it's fine.
Kenta, who's a Daily Tommy, but we'll always remember as Daily Tommy. Kevin Owens, who's Kevin Steen, who's now Kevin Owens. Obviously, we remember him as Kevin Owens now. And then I don't remember who the hell Asuka's original name was. See, that's my point. I don't even fucking remember. Let me look it up.
Yeah, because I actually want to know, like, what the hell was Asuka's role?
Her original name. Shit. The fact that we have to look this up, it just shows the point where it's like it doesn't matter what you do outside. No, I'm lying to myself. Kana.
Okay.
Her name was Kana. Yeah, it was Kana. Now it's Asuka. So just like how it's the other woman's name, which I was something freaking so it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna remember it now and as Kiari's name. So
yeah, but our points
yes
is Asuka 2 has been she is finished being built. You're gonna take her out for a test run, then you're gonna match her up.
Gotcha.
With the actual Asuka and see how that goes from there.
Oh, her name was not even that different. It was Kiari Hojo. Now it's Kiari Sane. So they just changed the last name.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, yeah, I can deal with that. Yeah, it wasn't even that much of a difference, but I do get your point though. I do get your point.
Asuka 2. That's what I'm going to call her. Her name is Asuka 2.
Yeah. So let's go over the list of so far already announced people for the Mae Young Classic. Lacey Evans, Sarah Logan, who most of these people are currently under contract with NXT anyway.
Yeah.
Tori Storm from New Zealand. Pernetza Sojhit from Mexico. I'm going to be butchering all of these names.
Now.
Yeah, Kiafti Devel from India. Tayanada Conti from Brazil. Abby Leif from United States. Tessie Blanchard, I know who she is, or Tessa Blanchard. Zazie Gilbert from Germany. Dokura Kai from New Zealand. Kiari Sane, as we just said. Piper Niven from Scotland. Bianca Belair, which is also under NXT right now. And Vanessa Bourne from the United States. And Zohala Asuka from China. I butchered all of these names. So please forgive me. Yeah, so these are all people we don't, again, it's going to start in August, which Jim Ross and Lita is going to be commentating. So this should be interesting, for say the least. I don't know if it's going to be the heights of the Cruiserweight Classic, but
I won't say we'll go that far, but it's something.
Yeah, I'm not saying because they can't do it because they're women. I'm not saying that. It's because the Cruiserweight Classic was just like that one time. It was basically
it was lightning in the bottle.
Exactly. I don't know if they could strike lightning twice because the UK tournament was the issue with the UK tournament. I felt like it was only 2 days. Had they expanded had they did with the Cruiserweight Classic, it was like a week after week thing. It would have been interesting. I mean, the UK tournament was good in its own right. It just it didn't reach the same magic to me as the Cruiserweight Classic did.
I feel like the only reason why it was only 2 days is because the majority of those people are actually in different organizations.
Exactly.
And some of them probably had a thing for where you can wrestle for these couple of days or whatever, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, you can't be on TV afterwards or whatever.
Exactly.
That's my only. That's what I would think. I'm not 100% sure.
No, I can say it. All right, let's go to Raw and
let's go to Raw. Let's go to Monday Night Raw. Because there's a lot of things that happen on Monday Night Raw.
Some good things and some interesting things. Some very interesting things. And I think we both are talking about the same segment. Yeah, so let's just get started. First off, before I start, the whole theme of today's episode is women's wrestling, because for the first time in WWE, the whole week was main evented by all women, with the exception of 205 Live. who doesn't have any women on their brand because all cruiserweights. However, they did. There's one. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. The way the article was written, they said as of yet there's no women on 205 Live. That leads me to believe that eventually they might actually put women on 205 Live.
No, wait. You said that that's this episode scene?
Huh?
You said that's.
Oh no, I'll talk about like our podcast episode.
That's what I mean. Like that's our podcast. I could have sworn this podcast scene was beat that nigga's ass.
Yeah. So we will get to that. We're probably have a lot of talk. I'm about to get a drink for that one. That's why we're gonna take a break before we hit the segment, so we can talk about that in depth. So let's get started. First things first. Again, Roman Reigns, you know, that sociopath. He comes out and pretends like Braun Strowman did not whip his ass again for when he came back, when he returned, because Braun Strowman returned the previous week. And he told Roman Reigns he wasn't finished with him, and now a Great Balls of Fire to be him and Roman for ambulance match, which I hope Braun Strowman murders him. Because again, Braun Strowman is the only person that is actually Roman Reigns he cannot beat. He can't. First, he finally met his fucking match. He can't bury this guy. But yeah, Roman Reigns was saying how, again, I'm going to just take out Braun Strowman again. And then he hears the ambulance. This is where Roman Reigns is an idiot. How did you fall for this? Why would you fall for it twice? He looked like he was actually walking towards the ambulance. He expected Braun. No, what I was expecting, no lie, and I probably would have jumped out of my chair because you saw the ambulance doors were closed. It would have been hilarious. Like Braun Strowman just like he put his face right in front. I would have been laughing my ass off. And that would have been some funny shit. But yeah, Braun Strowman attacked him from behind, and the best part was when he threw him with the ambulance. It's like you heard the smack in the way Roman Reigns fell. It was good. So, and then he put him in the ambulance. He sent him away again because that Great Balls of Fire is going to be him versus Reigns in an ambulance match. What I hope is going to announce, at least have some merit to it. And Kurt Angle announced last week, since next week's going to be the final Raw before, Great Balls of Fire, that he should announce whoever wins will be the new number one contender. So this will actually be perfect. So then it will lead to see if the speculation is actually true. If Braun Strowman did get replaced at SummerSlam, or it is we won't know. I hope they'll actually confirm that. But what are your thoughts on this?
The way Braun hit that, not Braun. The way Roman hit the ambulance was just fucking amazing, in my opinion.
Yes,
I laughed. It was because some people like to say that Braun is still green a little bit.
No,
I don't think he's green. Okay, I don't think it's like that. He's calmed down from the time because for instance, it was actually supposed to be a match, Taker versus Braun Strowman,
which nobody wanted.
Well, well, that's what they was like.
At the time, nobody wanted that.
Yeah, but the reason why that didn't happen was because Taker has Brock Lesnar, and when Brock Lesnar and when it was the Royal Rumble and when Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman was going at it in the thing, Brock told Taker, "Nah, he's still kind of green, man." And this is coming from Brock Lesnar.
Exactly, out of all people. He does like 5 moves. He only does he doesn't do 5 moves. He literally has 2 moves. Brock Lesnar literally has 2 moves in his arsenal: the F5 and German, and sometimes a Kimura lock. Yeah,
this is coming from him where he's just like, yeah, this is he's a little too green.
Which is ironic. It is ironic because a year later, the opinion of Braun Strowman has literally did a complete 180.
Yeah, he actually has.
It's like everybody. He's literally the biggest. Again, he's the biggest baby face. He's the biggest baby face that is not meant to be the baby face at all. Right now, Raw essentially, because it's like Roman Reigns again. The way Roman, I feel like I don't know if David does this on purpose. It was like 2 weeks ago, right? When he was facing Samoa Joe on Raw, right? When it was Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns. The way it was booked, you could have swore if you was a new time viewer that Roman Reigns was the bad guy, Samoa Joe was the good guy. The way they booked it, but again, it's just the way they book Roman Reigns is just strange to me. I would never understand it. Is he meant? I feel like they realize it doesn't matter if he's booked as a heel or face because he did get the same fucking reaction anyway. So they probably just say fuck it. But it's like just he had what is he? I don't know what I don't know what the fuck he is, but yeah, Braun Strowman, best thing ever on Raw right now. What was what I was gonna say? Yeah, I just hope he destroys him at Great Balls of Fire. Sadly, the way it's been booked recently, I don't think it's gonna fucking happen. Roman Reigns is gonna win because if he is truly facing Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, they're gonna have to give him this win. So, yeah. So, any other final thoughts before we move on?
Yeah, just move on, really. Sure.
All right. So we move on to an interesting match. They came out of nowhere. I wish they would advertise it a week in advance because this was big. Finn Balor and the Hardys versus Elias Sampson and Cesaro Sheamus. Isn't this the first time that Finn Balor and the Hardys were ever in the same ring together? I don't recall them ever being in the same ring. But yeah, very interesting match indeed. Elias Sampson, Cesaro Sheamus on the other hand. And again, this was really a good showing from Elias Sampson. Okay, this match was like 2 commercial breaks.
So we go to the first commercial break and we come back and it's Josh Duhamel.
Oh yeah, that was the other part I completely wanted to ignore because it was like it made no sense. Why was he here?
Well, apparently there's a movie that's coming out, and I like to see how they're supposed to be doing this. So the rumor is that Sheamus is going to be written off TV soon. Mm-hmm. Because Sheamus is actually going to be doing a movie with Josh Duhamel.
Gotcha.
And so everything that Josh Duhamel was actually talking about, was apparently, the start of talking about how you're supposed to be in this new movie and stuff, and it's just like, oh, okay, well, that's nice that you're letting us know that now, but apparently he's going to be written off TV.
Now, how are they going to do that?
That's what I'd like to know.
How are they going to do that? Because he is currently the Raw Tag Champion. That leads me to 2 scenarios. They'll give it back to the Hardys under their broken persona eventually, or they might give it to the Revival. Now you're going to say the Revivals are heel. On Main Event, which we can't watch because it's exclusive to the UK. We had to wait like a month afterwards. But on Main Event, it was a Revival versus Gallows and Anderson in a tag team match. So essentially, technically 2 heel teams going at it against each other. So I don't know who's considered the face or heel in that situation. So maybe the Revival might be booked as faces. I don't know. Because those are the only 2 other people that could take the titles from them. It's not going to be Gallows and Anderson. Sadly, it won't be. But the way they've been booked. So, yeah, I don't know how they're going to do it. They might give back to Hardys under their broken persona, but we don't know when that's ever going to happen. But essentially what happened was Finn Balor, he won the match with the coup de grace against Cesaro. But like I said, it was Elias Sampson. It's ironic. On NXT, Elias Sampson was never really like shown to be that good of like an athlete or whatever. He was like this cowardly heel that just tried to sneak away from stuff almost on NXT. But now in the main roster, he's actually showing himself. So it's like the way that he's been booked on Raw has been way better booked than the Ascension has ever been booked, or like people like him and Tyler Breeze up until now has been booked coming up from NXT. Or Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews, I see everybody should get Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews right now is horse shit. So yeah. So any final thoughts on this match? Basically, Finn Balor and Hardys won. That's what I was trying to get at. But yeah, but your point still stands with Cesaro leaving, so I don't know how that's gonna lead. And
Sheamus.
Yo, I said Cesaro, Sheamus. Sheamus is going to leave, and as of right now, they haven't confirmed the title match at Great Balls of Fire. So Raw is the last Raw next week before Great Balls of Fire. So maybe he might announce the title match. I don't know. So any final thoughts before we move on to the next segment?
It was a good match to start Raw, get the fans hyped up.
Yeah, it was 2 commercial breaks long, by the way. So it was like about, I'll say 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Almost. These people, they were fighting. So it was actually, like I said, it was a decent match. I'm surprised they allowed Elias Sampson to have this long of a match. So, like, considering he's new. So that's why that was very interesting to me. So, yeah, we'll see. And especially, yeah, Elias Sampson with all these veteran wrestlers, too. So, for the fact that he was able to hang this long for about 20 minutes, that's why that was impressive, to say the least. But moving on. It was originally supposed to be Goldust versus R-Truth. So they've been building this up for weeks. Goldust and R-Truth. Goldust pretty much bringing back the Shattered Dreams persona, the Bizarre one persona, basically, I was trying to say. Mm-hmm. And they've been hyping this up for weeks and weeks and weeks. And now we're probably supposed to get the one-on-one match with Goldust versus R-Truth. Which, again, I love Goldust's outfit. Doesn't it look like his original outfit back in the day?
That's the original fucking outfit.
Exactly.
I popped so fucking hard. I'm like, only thing he's missing is the wig and Marlena.
Yeah, because that is pretty much the original outfit. Yep, to say the least. It really definitely is. I thought it was, too. So thank you for confirming that. So, yeah, it was originally supposed to happen. It didn't because when R-Truth got in the ring, because Goldust actually had a camera person with him who's filming everything again. I guess trying to film a movie with Goldust and R-Truth. That never happened. He used the cameraman as distraction to beat up Goldust, basically. Beat him up so bad that the referee never even started the match. So, technically, we never got the match between Goldust and R-Truth. So, I don't know where it's going to lead. Might lead to their actual official match at Great Balls of Fire. So,
I think that's what I had a feeling about that, and I feel like that's actually going to be a Great Balls of Fire match.
Yeah. Because the way they build it up, I doubt like they'll waste all these vignettes on just a regular Raw. I mean, I could have sworn they were going to, but apparently they weren't. So they're gonna save for Great Balls of Fire. They were just able to allow to delay this for one more week. So we'll see if it is actually a Great Ball of Fire. People say it's going to be on a kickoff show. I don't think it actually will be.
Who knows? Depends on how they want to book it.
I don't know. It's just the way they've been. If they want to build, because the rumor was that Goldust is supposed to be getting this actual, like, somewhat of a push after this. Yes. I don't know if it was true or not. From what I read, I don't know if it's true or not. I feel like it's somewhat of a push. So we will see after this match, maybe, because again, if for those who don't know, remember I was talking about the WrestleMania plans, and even though it's probably unrelated, it might be related in some way. It was supposed to be Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar because Roman Reigns was actually supposed to be facing The Miz at SummerSlam for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, I remember.
Since it seems like these plans aren't happening, maybe they might give Goldust another title run.
Yeah, but what would be they need to come up with a good reason of why. Like, okay. I'm sorry, my chair is acting up.
No, it's fine.
I'm also trying to get comfortable because my foot's bothering me. There will also have to be a way to. Miz is a heel. Goldust is a heel. Can't have two heels going after the title.
That is right. You are absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Not right now. So you're going to have to try to find some type of way for them to be like, oh, okay. Is Dean Ambrose going to win?
Or what they could do a triple threat. That's how they can somehow exit it out of the business.
But even then, it's like, what business does Goldust have?
He wants to go. Well, the way they could book is that since he's trying to go back to his roots, one of his main things about him back in the day was him holding the Intercontinental title, and when he held it, he turned into gold. Now you see again, this is fantasy booking. If Goldust were to get the title again, he can turn to gold again, so we go Intercontinental title, and whoever actually beats him, they're not going to win, and that's how they introduce the fucking Intercontinental title that's been done for months. Because again, the new United States and Intercontinental belt design has been done for months now. They just don't know how to probably don't know how to introduce them on TV. So that's one fantasy booking. If I was doing it, that's just one way you can get out of. I mean, you can do it. So
you do a lot of fantasy booking on those.
I know. When you're a fan of wrestling like me, I pretty much with my days of consistent. How can I do this better than WWE is doing it right now? Like again. When Tyler Breeze debuted, I had him in an Intercontinental title match with Dean Ambrose at WrestleMania 32. I swear I had it like that. So again, I thought the way he was with T'Challa was gonna be much more better back then during that when he came up in 2015, but I was completely wrong. So yeah. So any final thoughts on Goldust and Archer?
Like I said, I feel like they're gonna have it on the I'm sorry. They're gonna have it pretty much on the Great Balls of Fire, depending on if it's pre-show or not. I'm not 100% sure.
They're gonna have to because they don't have a lot of matches currently announced for it. So unless it could be some random thrown together matches. The only other match that they're probably gonna put together that will make sense that won't be considered thrown together will be Enzo versus Big Cass. So otherwise, I don't think they legit don't really have any other matches on there. So yeah. And he found out before.
Nah.
All right, so we're gonna move on to that segment. So let me get something to drink before we move on to that.
I'm gonna turn my camera. I'm gonna turn my camera off. I'm actually going to stretch a little bit. So
yeah, no problem.
When I see you come back, then I'm gonna hop back on myself.
Yeah, no problem. So it'll be considered a break, guys. So we will be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. I don't know if Ron's currently with us, so I'll just wait a few minutes. Guys, I had to get some drink. Again, this drink is good. I mixed Mountain Dew and Juicy Juice fruit punch. It's probably the best thing I ever tasted because it's so hot over here in Philadelphia. Even though it rained, it's still like the humidity over here is ridiculous. So, yeah. Yeah, guys, should definitely try this. The Mountain Dew and the Juicy Juice with the drink inside of it. So, yeah. Very good drink, and we're probably gonna need this drink because the segment we're gonna talk about, we're gonna probably talk about in length about it. So
yeah, I'm actually back.
Yeah, no problem. I was explaining to him how good the Juicy Juice drink is. That might be our sponsor eventually, if we ever actually land the sponsor. Yeah, Juicy Juice. So yeah, So if you're ready, we're gonna talk about the segment.
Segment of the night. Hold on, let me turn my camera back on. I'm for those who are probably wondering if I'm doing like this is because I'm kind of stretching a little bit. I'm having like little leg foot problems at the moment. It's kind of hurting.
So you okay, man?
Nah, it's comes with the times. That's all.
Well, I mean, again, man, if you're not filled up to it, just tell me.
Dude, I'm fine. I just have to. The problem is I had to get comfortable.
I got you.
And it's hard to get comfortable sometimes. We're also trying to do 1,000 things on the computer at the same time.
Okay, so, I completely understand. But okay, so the irony of all of this, you would have never thought this was going to be the talk of the week for wrestling because they literally announced this the day of. So before even Raw went on the air, the Miz TV, they announced it was going to be a Miz TV, and it was going to be with guests. Now, walk me through this. Who are these? Before this, who are these people in the first?
Okay, so I don't know too much about them myself, but LeVar Bell, he used to be a Laker, I think he was, and his son has just been. So his older son, not the one who said the famous words, he just got signed to be a Laker as well. Now, he just got out of college and whatever, but the whole controversy was sorry, I just saw something. His they tried to sell a $500 pair of sneakers.
Okay.
And everybody was just like, "Ooh," like, and they don't look. The quality of the sneakers look like Walmart sneakers, in my opinion. Okay, but I'm not about to buy $500 pair of fucking sneakers. So, but the big thing was the fact that hey, he got signed to the thing. So, to the Lakers. So I guess this is WWE's way of trying to put the fact of, hey, we're in the Staples Center. Let's use this opportunity and do something with it. And the rest is history.
All right. So with that backstory entailed, the Miz TV, it was supposed to be with LeVar, what the hell is his name? LeVar. I was gonna call him LeVar. That's what I'm gonna call him.
Yeah,
LeVar Bar.
It's LeVar Bar and LeVar Bar Jr.
Okay.
And then the guy, the kid who said the thing, was Mel.
Yeah, something like that. I guess he came out last, right? Which one came out last? One who sounded. Okay, he's the one who said the words, right?
Oh, no, he wasn't the one who said the words. It was the other kid, the one that came out with him first.
Okay, so yeah, first thing first, Miz TV is happening. Two things before this even started. Again, for those who are unaware, Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas are now aligned with The Miz. They're known as the Miz Taraj, which is the fucking stupidest name I ever heard in my life. Why can't it just be the Entourage? Or I'm pretty sure the Entourage is not like trademark or anything. it's just a saying. So I don't know why they couldn't have just used that. But I digress. So, but basically, The Miz, Curtis Axel, and Bo Dallas are a team because the rumor thing is that Marie's supposed to be leaving soon, I guess. Not yet, because clearly she was here this week. But so she's supposed to be written off TV. So they want Miz to be paired with other people, which I think is a great idea because I think I explained this last week too. Anybody paired with The Miz is usually coming out as a bigger star. Case in point, Damian Sandow, Daniel Bryan. Well, more or less Daniel Bryan and Damian Sandow, but the whole Damian Sandow run was good at the time. It was probably the best thing on WWE at the time. The whole Damian Sandow Miz thing when they were when Damian Sandow was mimicking the Miz, everything he does, so that was hilarious. And obviously we know the whole Daniel Bryan story. We don't have to talk about that. So again, anybody who is paired with the Miz usually comes out on the other side as a megastar for the most part, in a way. But essentially, so that's what I guess we're gonna do with Bo Dallas Curtis, which is a good thing. But again, Miss TV, it was going to happen. Out comes LeVar, and first things first, when he did that whatever run of a thing I saw, which is now a meme. I said it was going to be a meme. He basically what he did, he ran. Well, I wouldn't even say ran. How would you describe it? How would you describe that?
Okay, let me hold on for a second. You're pretty younger than me, but let me see if I can trigger your childhood memory with just this. Do you know how it feels to go to the park for the first day?
Yeah.
And your mom just like lets you run, and you run into the sliding board or you run into the swings, and everything, and it's like you see, like she's not even like hold my hand, and I'll walk you to the swing. She's like, just let you go. Like, hey, go into the swings. And you're just running.
Yes.
It's like that.
Okay.
I look at it like that. It's, he was just, I looked at it as the fact that he was happy to be here.
Oh, no, I'm not, yeah. The one thing I would take out of this is at least you know he's a WWE fan.
Yes.
He was so much into this, which is ironic because he has more. My brother recently said this. He has more of a character than Apollo Crews ever had.
Yeah.
Right now, in one segment alone, he already outshined any charisma, personality that Apollo Crews would ever would want. And he did it one segment. So yeah. Basically ran out of the ring. So that was one thing. So that was one thing off the checklist. Then we move on to the actual conversation between the two. It was, I forgot what they were talking about. They were talking about the
They were pretty much all right. So, if you don't mind, I want to.
Yeah, no, go ahead. You can probably explain this better than I could.
I completely pay attention to the whole damn thing. Also, before I start, I will say this: maybe I will dip out a little early.
Yeah, no problem.
But probably after this, because the thing is that I feel like I do need to stretch out a little bit.
Yeah, no problem.
But the main thing for me to be here is to talk about this moment.
Yes.
Okay, this particular moment. So I am sort of braving my myself for being hurt right now. Because like I said, after this, I'm gonna go and stretch my legs out and everything.
No problem.
But I'm braving it just for this point in this moment.
I do appreciate that, man. Thank you.
So the whole skit was the fact of The Miz wanted it to pretty much join the LeVar Bell, the Big Baller brand, or whatever, because that's what they're calling it. They're calling it the Big Baller brand. It's pretty much LeVar Bell's new clothing line, shoe line, stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. And you feel like that The Miz feels like, hey, I'm a big enough star. You should have me as part of your thing. And now I feel like that the whole segment was supposed to go like this. Well, we would have you on here, but we already have somebody else. This is how I feel the script was.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna go by what the script was, and then I'm gonna go by what actually happened. So what the script was, oh, okay. So LeVar, Lamar, I feel like that, me being a big star and all, I feel like I should join the Big Baller brand and have and be out here and put your name out there for everybody, blah 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 blah. Where they go, well, you're okay and all, you're the Miz, but no one likes you and blah blah blah. Also, we found someone who feel like we might be able to put as our face of the Big Baller brand, and out comes Dean Ambrose.
And that probably sounds exactly how it should have been, especially with Dean Ambrose wearing that shirt. But let's talk about what actually happened. Go ahead.
That's what he was supposed to have.
Yeah, and like in an ideal world, that's what Vince McMahon wanted.
Okay. Let's talk about what really happened. So, like I said, LeVar Ball was probably just happy to be there. And I feel like that he wasn't going to be on script for the whole thing. And Wichicon was pretty much, the Miz was pretty much riffing and improvising just as much. So it just came to the point where LeVar put himself in the mindset that he was a WWE wrestler. And he decides, I'm going to do things like a WWE wrestler does. So I'm going to take off my shirt. And I'm going to act like I'm Bruce Lee. And I'm going to treat you like I treat like my sons or my wife or anything. But just, Ball, don't you better get out my face. And he sounds like every other person that's out here that he gets into a fight with an old man. He feels like he can pretty much fight the younger guy, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
Okay. So I feel like the people in the back
were losing their mind.
Was losing their mind. Not just really losing their minds. I feel like they were just letting this run as much as they can. I'm okay. They went off the script a little bit, but it seems okay now. All right. Send out Dean now before he does something. Okay. Dean comes out. It's music and all. And that's when his son, not the older one, his son's name is Lonzo. Actually, I think I got that wrong. I think hold on, I'm actually reading the name. It was LaMelo. His name is LaMelo. Right. Okay, LaMelo went off to say, as Dean Ambrose was coming out, beat that nigga's ass.
Yes.
Beat that nigga's ass twice.
And Vince McMahon probably had a heart attack
on TV live. And then the thing that gets me about that is like they usually have the dump buttons pretty
right. I know Kevin Dunn usually be on fucking like he'd be trigger happy with those fucking dump buttons.
Like when wrestlers say something like they get injured and it actually kind of hurts and they probably slip a curse word here and there. Yeah, they're actually a little more on point. With the dump button.
Exactly. But
what happened here?
No, that's how I could tell it was wrong because probably them. Kevin Dunn was losing his mind backstage. He probably was nowhere near the button. I feel like this meme best sums up exactly how Levy backstage was right now.
Hold on, I'm reading something else. But...
This literally what it was backstage for them. If I can pull it up. I'm about to pull it right now. Remember, you probably remember this if I show you to you right now. Remember that SpongeBob episode?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was backstage.
Yeah, it was
that's why Kevin was nowhere near the button.
Yeah, it was just pandemonium. It was just like
no idea what the fuck was going on. You have even Dean. Well, first of all, I have to give credit to the Miz. Even the Miz, literally, for the Miz trying to try to go on track with the whole segment. He tried. At least he went along with it. What LeVar was doing too, but like Dean Ambrose looked so fucking confused. That's why they went to commercial break, and then the next thing you know, we had a 6-man tag.
Yeah, like, and the thing is that I mean, well, no, because they did announce saying that there's going to be a 6-man tag. They did say that. They did say that was going to happen. It was just the fact they did say it kind of earlier or whatever, but it was just the fact of no one really knew what to do, what to say, how to react.
I didn't know either.
Everybody was pretty much on
DEFCON
like
5.
yeah, that's pretty much that's the best way to put it. It was on DEFCON 5.
Like, I didn't know what the hell was going on. It was I didn't even. Again, remember I tweeted on Twitter, "What the hell am I watching?"
Yeah, it's just, and I'm sitting here just like this, and I'm laughing my ass off. Really,
I didn't know what I was watching.
I'm laughing so much because I'm just like, this actually fucking happened. all of this
now
happening, and it was happening pretty fast.
Yeah, like I didn't know how because again, they probably backstage was probably our reactions too. Like, what the fuck are like? What are we doing? Like, I don't know what's happening. Something like we have to do something. Like he was going. All I'm gonna say is if they don't bring him back, it'll be a travesty.
Oh no, I like I said on Twitter and everything. This may be the last time you see. No, not just him. This may be the last time you see an African American celebrity on WWE TV for a while.
For this very reason.
Yeah, for this very reason.
I mean, no, he's gonna say the N-word.
I mean,
he's gonna say the N-word.
I mean, okay, it didn't. All right, so now that we covered that, I want to say something because a lot of people have made some type of thing of like, well, okay, but Witchcom said this. Vince McMahon said this, and Booker T has said the N-word too. So what's the difference? Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what the difference is. Okay, Number one, Booker T said it by accident. He let the promo get to him. He was way too into the promo that he was given that he forgot he was in a promo, and he just happened to let it slip out. Okay, and you can see it in his face. The point that when Sherry had to pull him back, it was like, okay, come on. That was
exactly.
Nice. Come on, let's ratchet it back a little bit, okay? That's right.
And again, the difference is that at least I was actually like genuinely funny.
Okay.
When he said
now with Vince McMahon, okay. If anybody remember, Vince McMahon was going through some type of identity crisis. I think it was. He didn't know what to be doing. But I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure that he kind of asked everybody first to say, "Listen, the script has me saying this one time. Okay, is it okay, or should I just not say it?" And then other people was like, "Go ahead, but just don't say it anymore." And then with Booker T there saying, "I can't believe you just said that. Told me you didn't just say that." You can tell that it was the joke. That the joke was he said it.
Exactly.
And everything, because if Booker T was Booker T, I'm not sure I give out again. Booker T would have probably socked him right then and there.
Exactly.
But
Clearly, it was a reference to it. So
yeah, there was a reference to it. The thing is that it was scripted. Okay, that was scripted. Was it right for him to say it? Maybe not. But but yeah, it was just like it probably wasn't the right thing to say, but at the same time, it was said, and we're past it. Okay, what happened on Monday should not have happened at all.
Mm-hmm. No, you're absolutely right. And then again, and back to your point about how people compare it to this man thing, you have to realize that was a different time back then.
Yes.
It was a way different period. We live in a politically correct world now. Back then, it didn't matter what you said or whatever, because nobody was never butthurt over everything that was said.
Listen,
But
there's a lot of things that I can go into. I mean, I consider myself somewhat the PC thing, but then there are other times where I'm like, come on, this ain't that bad. You know, there are other.
I know. I know. There are some stuff
I've
that you
seen.
shouldn't say.
There's
But
other stuff that I shouldn't say, but at the same time, it's like I've seen some things that people wants to sit there and whine about, but I'm like, really? Because there were some other things that happened that really got your attention a lot more than this and
the
stuff like
little
that.
stuff.
So yeah, this is little stuff compared to other things that happen. I can go on and on and on about it, but I don't feel like it because, like I said, I need after this and now.
Yeah, no problem.
But
Yeah.
but the point of the matter is this. Like I said, you probably won't be seeing them anymore on TV. They
They
got
probably will make a reference to it next week. They only make a reference
they
to it.
probably well. You probably won't talk about it, but they kind of did a little something a little funny with the New Day.
Oh yeah, that was perfect timing too.
Um, they I'm trying to think what's like it. They got the people were talking about it, not in a good way, but people were talking about it. So
exactly. At least the one thing Debbie knows how to do.
And they did apologize.
Yes, exactly. At least the one thing Debbie knows how to do is get publicity, even if they're never intend to. They get people watching, and hey, it works. So
yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead because, like I said, I'm gonna.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem.
I'm gonna rest everything and whatnot because it's gonna hurt.
I hope everything's
I'm
okay.
gonna turn on New Japan. I mean, I think I take some medicine. Sit there and just be fine with that. And after that, I'm just gonna just chill for the rest of the night. Next week I won't be on though. I will say that because I'm going to another tournament. I'm going to another tournament. So you probably won't see me next week, but just to let y'all know, I'm not dead. I'm just not.
No problem. Because again, and more than likely you'll have your predictions too for Great Balls of Fire. So
that's it. When that's that, yeah. Then I guess we're saying that now. Then I will after Raw goes off. Everything I will know what to do, and I know what to put down as far as my predictions. I'll send it to you beforehand.
Yeah, no problem. So any final things you want to say before you head out?
Not really. Just beat that nigga's ass.
All right, man. See ya.
Yeah, everyone, take care of everybody.
Everything's okay. All right, guys. So Ron left, so hope everything's okay with Ron. If you want to follow him on Twitter, I will link you to it, so you can check up on it, see if everything's okay. And I hope everything's okay with Ron too. But show must go on, so I will try to bear through it. So after whatever the hell that segment was, we actually got the six-man tag with Dean Ambrose, The Miz, Heath Slater versus Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, and The Miz. Interesting booking, I would say the least. Heath Slater and Rhino hasn't really been booked the way they were on SmackDown. If you remember on SmackDown, first of all, I want to make sure I can hear myself. Interesting. Okay, yeah. So I was gonna make sure I can able to hear myself. The way they've been booked on SmackDown, they were the inaugural SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Heath Slater probably had the best story going into it. With the Rhinos' help, they won. Overall, not so much. I know. See, I like to give stuff time. They just came over a couple months ago from Superstar Shakeup, so they need time to develop on this brand, which I completely understand. But it's like, come on, they're treated like jokes here. Really jokes. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, anything? They're getting booked a little bit better now. Curtis Axel, actually, I think it was Curtis Axel who actually got it was Bo. Shit, who got the actual pinfall? Yeah, it was Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas actually got the pinfall because Curtis Axel would have hit a cheap shot on Rhino. He was able to do a roll up, and Bo Dallas, The Miz, and Curtis Axel won. So I think that's Bo Dallas' first win in a very long time. So it was Curtis Axel. So again, hanging out with The Miz is going to be doing some good things for them. They might become a good heel team or tag team with these two. So who's to say? We're going to have to find out eventually. So Yeah. As for the Miz and Dean Ambrose, I would like to think this will lead because Dean Ambrose is entitled to an Intercontinental title match. He's like contractually obligated to get his rematch. I don't think, as far as I know, he never has his Intercontinental title rematch. It's probably gonna happen to Great Balls of Fire, but sadly, I think it's going to now get lost. He's gonna lose because actually, I don't think he has to lose this time because again, the whole summer because the original SummerSlam plan was gonna have the Miz versus Roman Reigns for the Intercontinental title, and Miz was gonna drop the belt to Roman Reigns. Since this seems like the plan is not happening anymore, there's a bunch of scenarios. So just say that Dean Ambrose can't win the Intercontinental title again. I mean, he might not. They should help with Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel because pretty much Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas are Miz's insurance policies. So who's to say? Make sure I can't myself again. He might not be. Who's to say that they won't help him or they will help him? Dean Ambrose make American title, even though the match is not confirmed yet. Maybe Dean Ambrose might have to help Heath Slater, Rhino. There's a bunch of different scenarios they can go about doing. We don't know. We'll find out eventually next week. Everything is like this final Raw for Great Balls of Fire starting to be one of the most interesting Raws in a long time because there's a bunch of different ways they can go about doing this. Everything is leading up to this one thing, and we will find out what's going to happen. So yeah, overall, the match itself was fine. That segment though, I mean, Ron and me went in depth on that. I'm not gonna bring it up, but that segment though. And as Ron said before he left, beat that nigga's ass. So, yep. Now we move on to the other interesting segment, which I thought, in my opinion, was segment of the night. Not match of the night. That goes to the ladies, of course. But segment of the night has to go to Enzo and Big Cass. Enzo came out alone. And again, the whole thing was his whole catchphrase is, my name is Enzo More. I'm a certified G and a bona fide studying can't teach that. Big Cass usually says the stuff, but as we know, Big Cass did the turn of the year probably against Enzo when he betrayed him, and actually he was the one attacking him this whole time. So he officially turned heel. So Enzo's all by himself now. Enzo came out and said, "Yo, I've been trying to contact Big Cass for this whole week. He didn't respond. He doesn't want to do this privately, so we're going to do this publicly. Big Cass, come on out here." Big Cass came out, and he also came, interesting enough, he also came out with the original music too. This leads me to believe that they probably don't have a song for him yet. They're probably going to debut it probably at the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view. So Enzo and Big Cass was talking. Enzo, and again, first of all, credit to WWE for this was like a perfect segment because they had me hook line. Usually I don't fall for this crap. They had me hook line for that 1 second. I actually believe they completely 180 this around. Enzo basically explaining, "Yo, man, we're brothers. I don't know what happened between us. I know I could be a little annoying, or he knows that he's annoying, but you always was there for me. I always there for you. Man, we're brothers. This is the bond. This is beyond WWE. This is beyond the fans. This is us, man. This is real and whatever." And you could tell the passion. Every time Enzo's been talking recently, you could tell the passion that his promo is like. You can't tell this is actually real or not. Big Cass said, "Yo, I don't regret what I did to you, but I am sorry, and we hopefully can put this behind us, and we'll be good." And yeah, for that one moment, it seemed like they hugged it out. It seemed like they were together. Big Cass did his thing. If you we have one word to describe you, SAWFT, soft. And I swear, me and my brother, when we was watching this, we were like, what the hell? They just turned Big Cass heel last week, and now he's a face again this week. It's like because they was walking up, they were leaving, everything was good, and it was like, well, shit. What happened? Are they actually just gonna go with this until they didn't do anything? And of course, WWE pulling out what they do at the last minute. They said, "No, that's not what's gonna happen," because Big Cass clothesline Enzo on top of the stage, and then he did a gorilla press and he threw him because they were saying, "Oh, you want Enzo Amore? Here's Enzo Amore." He threw him all the way down the ramp from the top of the stage all the way down to the ramp, and the referees and medical staff had checked on officially Big Cass official heel turn, even though it was obviously shown last week. This pretty much solidifies it. him and Enzo are gone. I mean, are done basically. This has to be believed that at Great Balls of Fire, these two have to have a match. If they don't, it just doesn't make any sense. Obviously, Big Cat's probably gonna come out on top. I will talk more about what I think is gonna happen with Enzo. I kind of hinted at it last week. I feel like the cruiserweight division is in his eyes. I think that's in his future. Is gonna be cruiserweight division. I'll explain why probably next week when we get to the final Raw before Great Balls of Fire. Yeah, Big Cass is probably be going to big things. He's probably feuding with the Intercontinental title next if a face wins it. So Dean Ambrose does what I can see him and Big Cass going at it at one point. So we will see with that. As for Enzo, I think because again, I feel like the best case scenario, and I think this will work well for both Enzo and for the cruiserweight division. If he goes 205 Live, there's two things to get out of this. Enzo Amore, his merchandise, him and Big Cass merchandise sells. The kids love them. Like they are pretty much role models for kids. Like they adore Enzo and Big Cass. So Enzo, if he still keeps his persona as this guy, and if they bring it to the cruiserweight division, they can have like an automatic top baby face. There's not really on 205 Live, with the exception of Austin Aries, there wasn't really that top baby face on 205 Live. They need because we have a top heel in Neville. There's not really that. We gotta be sure we have like Jack Gallagher, and now we have Akira Torizawa, Riswan. It's like Alexander. They're like under the radar. They're doing other things on there, but like in terms of like that top baby face, be that top baby face. If Akira Torizawa doesn't become cruiserweight champion, Great Balls of Fire, I feel like Enzo Amore can be like he could be that hero. So like kids like, hey, we watch 205 Live because the whole point of 205. I feel like that's the issue. Like we have the dominant heel with Neville. Nobody can touch him, so they established the heel. We need a top baby face, and I think Enzo Amore can be that top baby face on because the whole crowd would be with him on it. So I can only imagine him being on Cool Live, how wonders that can do. And again, if you want people to watch, the kids will definitely watch. They'll stay up until 10 o'clock, until almost 11 just to watch Enzo Amore do his thing. That's for that one line. So it's like, I feel like it will work wonders for both. First of all, let me see, maybe before I even confirm any of this. How much does Enzo Amore weigh? He weighs 200 pounds. He's under 205, so I don't see why he can't. Do the cruiserweight division. It makes sense in my eyes. If I was booking this, it makes perfect sense why he would be in the cruiserweight division. So yeah. Hold on, I'm reading this article somebody wrote. Apparently, he is being booed 205 Live. For according to Still Realness.com, I had my. I see. Oh boy. Yeah, just speculation be a latest. Make sure we're all with it. Yeah, I mean, there's an article out now. I doubt this is any reliable thing. Wait, what? This just happened? Really? Where is all this information coming from? I thought about this on Smackdown, guys. That's true. That's interesting. Okay. Okay, so this is out. So this is holding merit then. Okay. Oh, okay. We'll definitely talk about this on Smackdown. What I just read some breaking news. Okay. So, but as for Enzo Amore, again, 205 Live, I feel like that's what he's going to do. So let me just read this. Yeah, 205 Live. I'm reading some articles. They're also thinking too. Yeah, like again, I feel like again, he is a star in his own right. He's one of those assertive. And another thing with Enzo Amore, as I was trying to explain from with the cruiserweight, the issue with the cruiserweights, with the exception of Neville and Austin Aries, and Brian Kendrick to an extent. None of these stars are like solidified, bona fide superstars. So that's one of the main reasons why they brought Sasha Banks and then Titus O'Neil now to If I Like. They're actually superstars that good fans recognize. With the exception of Neville, Austin Aries, and Brian Kendrick, they're not, the rest of the cruiserweight division aren't really like that certified stars, in probably WWE's opinion. And I think Enzo, I can definitely see at the Great Balls of Fire. I can see SummerSlam happening if Austin Aries isn't healed up to the point where he turns heel. I can see, think about it. I kept saying it was going to be Neville versus Grand Metalik at SummerSlam if that ever happens. Imagine Enzo Amore versus Neville for the Cruiserweight title at SummerSlam. That's going to work. I feel like that might actually work. So, yeah. So I could definitely see that happening, and that should be interesting. I feel like 205 Live will get that boost that they needed because Enzo Amore can, which is funny because you never expected it to. Enzo Amore, because again, he's not known for his rescue, he's just known for being talking, but he could be that top babyface. Oh, thank you, Nina Marie, for always showing up. First of all, Nina Marie, everyone, she is amazing because she always shows up to my podcast. So I have to first thank you. So first off, thanks. And let me tell you, Nina Marie, she has been showing up to my podcast every week, and I greatly appreciate it. I mean, first of all, thank you, Nina, for even willing to be listening to me for hours or about an hour or two, just talking about nonsense, wrestling, whatever. So I do appreciate that. So thank you very much, Nina Marie. Hopefully I'm entertained. And she just told me the Briscoes and Will Ospreay defeated Young Bucks and Marcus Girl in the opening match of G1. So probably Ron's hopefully watching that as well. Like I said, so you can actually keep me updated as well, Nina Marie, about the G1 climax. If I actually go a little bit over time anyway, I'm talking about wrestling or WWE. But so again, I would say thank you, Nina Marie, for always being part of the show every week. Pretty much you've been here every week, so I do greatly appreciate it. But yeah, one final thought for, again, Enzo. I feel like he's going to shine in the Cruiserweight division. That makes the most sense for him. They could put him in the Cruiserweight division. I think that they need that big baby face that they need right now because Austin Aries, besides him, he's currently injured. So like they need that big baby face that would actually carry the division. I think Enzo Amore will be that guy to do it, and I think it'll be Neville versus Enzo Amore. At least that's how I'll book at SummerSlam if Enzo gets moved to the Cruiserweight division. I can see that happening too, because it will be interesting. I would love to see that. But we move on to Seth Rollins versus Kurt Hawkins, pretty much a squash match for Rollins. He easily disposed of Hawkins because this is for the storyline between him and Wyatt. Bray Wyatt was on the thing as well. He was on the screen saying how Seth Rollins getting you pretty much disrespecting me, and he will cleanse Rollins with fire, and he'll allow Arteta to embrace his true self. And he says all he said was Sunday, July 9th, which is ironically the same day as the pay-per-view Great Balls of Fire. So we can only believe, which they've confirmed themselves, is that at Great Balls of Fire, they officially made the match. At Great Balls of Fire, it will be Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt. And I said this months ago when they first fought. I said this should have been a pay-per-view match. This sounds like a pay-per-view match. Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins. And now it is actually going to happen. Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins at Great Balls of Fire. Now, people are saying this feud has been like kind of garbage. I wouldn't say that. I would think of the positive because again, the way to make me interested in this feud was to allow Rollins to bring up the main constant with Bray Wyatt is that he always talks a big game, but he always comes out the loser. And he finally brought that up. I think that kind of ticked Bray Wyatt a little bit. So again, I feel like this feud, people thought like there was no way like they're not pretty much matchable, these two. But I feel like with that, maybe I'm the only one looking into it, but I feel like when Seth Rollins brought that up, it actually lit a fire to Bray Wyatt. So I think that actually worked in his favor. Like I can see Bray Wyatt actually coming out on top. Seth Rollins doesn't have to. Seth Rollins is again, he is pretty much the face of Raw in terms of like baby face. Yeah, unlike again, Roman Reigns is not a baby face. Despite popular belief, he is pretty much the main baby face on SmackDown besides Finn Balor. So with that being said, he wouldn't have an issue. Seth Rollins does not have an issue losing. Bray Wyatt needs this more than Seth Rollins. I feel like again, they're eventually going to lead up to the feud that everybody wanted in the first place: Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor. So if Finn Balor comes out on top of that feud, they can at least give this feud to Bray Wyatt. So Seth Rollins would have no problem losing. Because they could do a bunch of stuff. Seth Rollins, it will work because Seth Rollins is that good. So I can see him easily doing anything. But yeah, overall, the match that with Kurt Hawkins, it was a jar match. It was fine because at least they're both good competitors. But again, sadly, Kurt Hawkins is treated as a joke. Sadly, so you can never really see Kurt Hawkins really truly shine. So yeah. Hold on. Yeah, so I was just reading something about Kurt Hawkins, but yeah. Anyway, he's just Kurt Hawkins treated as kind of a joke, but I know he's a good wrestler anyway. So, well, maybe they might not treat him as a joke as much anymore because again, Jinder Mahal, out of all people, is the WWE champion, and he would get treated like a freaking joke. So, who to say they will eventually flip the switch with Kurt Hawkins? So, only time will definitely tell. Definitely. Then we had one of the other main segments that happened, which was Brock Lesnar calling out Samoa Joe. Paul Heyman was teasing it before. He was saying how this is the day that Brock Lesnar would call out Samoa Joe, and I knew that was bullshit from the very beginning because Brock Lesnar doesn't talk, essentially. So what are they talking about? Yeah, I knew that was not going to happen. And I was absolutely right when Brock Lesnar came out. First of all, the one thing I find most hilarious about all of this is Brock Lesnar, when he first arrived in his car, he didn't even have his Universal title with him. So the man, I know Brock Lesnar doesn't care about the UE. I know he doesn't. But for God's sakes, man, bring the Universal title. I know probably they had the title themselves, but for God's sakes, they could at least what you would call it, they could have at least had the title, bring his title with him, like for God's sakes. He didn't even have the title with him. That shows how much he probably forgot he was even champion. He was oh yeah, I'm champion, or not. Probably. Like he probably forgot he was champion. So he didn't have a universal title. I just thought I was freaking, I was crying when I saw him not have his title because like for God's sakes, man. It was ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, but Brock Lesnar was coming out, but we would never know the result of that because Samoa Joe attacked from behind. He was putting on Coquina Clutch, and by God, Brock Lesnar is perfect. The way he was selling that Coquina Clutch, he was literally his face was turning red. I don't know how he does it. I don't know because his skin complexion that makes him any fragile will make him turn red like that. But he was selling that Coquina Clutch. He was trying to get away from it and everything. Eventually, he didn't get away from it. He almost got brought down to his knee, but it wasn't for the Revival. And I think who was the other person? Who was the other person that took him off? I think it was Revival and Carl Anderson. They took Samoa Joe off of him. I think Samoa Joe would have for the first time somebody would have made Brock Lesnar pass out. So yeah, Samoa Joe, the way he's been booked for this match has been freaking dominant. Like by God. This is a threat to. I think Brock Lesnar is in for something at Great Balls of Fire. Like, this is probably be the most hard hitting match since Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura at TakeOver Dallas in 2016. I mean, Jesus, Samoa Joe, he was booked as a monster. And I clearly, again, Brock Lesnar is the face and Samoa Joe is the heel, the way this has been booked. So, and Paul Heyman probably cut, again, one of his best promos backstage, the way he promoted this match. He knows how to sell a match for you. And then the tagline, which makes me have after this, when he said this, I have no problem with the title of the pay-per-view anymore, Great Balls of Fire. So he said, what did he say? he's gonna be victimized and never, and then Samoa Joe's gonna wake up saying, "Oh, so that is what's gonna be like when he goes to Suplex City. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire!" And he sold the pay-per-view name for me. That's how you sell a pay-per-view name, people. That is how you do it. A ridiculous name like Great Balls of Fire. That's how you sell a pay-per-view name. I'm just saying. I don't know what they're doing outside. But let me make sure. Can you guys still hear me? Balls of Fire. Yeah. So yeah, that's how you sell a pay-per-view name to me, because that was really, it really was. That was the way he sold that pay-per-view name for me. That was amazing. So yeah. Otherwise, just looking. Otherwise, yeah, this led up to what's going to happen between him and Samoa Joe, because Great Balls of Fire is going to be the main event of Great Balls of Fire. For Universal Championship, Brock Lesnar to defend his Universal title against Samoa Joe. It is going to be a very, very interesting match indeed. Cannot wait. Great Balls of Fire next week. Can't wait for that go-home show on Raw. It's going to be very interesting, to say the least. So, yeah. I lost my notes. I'm trying to get them back. Yeah, okay. All right, so. Okay, so I was reading Shinsuke Nakamura. Oh, okay. I said Nakamura. Yeah, he just told it. Next, we're on to the Cruiserweight division. Neville versus Lindsay Dorado. We haven't seen Lindsay Dorado in a while, so yeah. The main thing here is Akira Tozawa. He was on the side. At ringside again, thanks to the Titus Worldwide, not Titus Brain, or Titus Worldwide. Neville easily disposed of Lindsay Dorado. Then he turned his attention to Akira. Akira got in the ring. They looked like he was about to go at it. Titus O'Neil came out and said, "Yo, why would you give this away for free?" Where in fact, they just made the match official at Great Balls of Fire. King Cruiserweight Neville versus the Power of Tozawa, as Titus O'Neil like to say. Akira Tozawa. I've been saying this for weeks. It's eventually going to lead up to that. It makes sense. Akira Tozawa, the way he's been booked leading up to this, he's been booked very good. That whole feud with Brian Kendrick made him come out very. Again, he is, besides Austin Aries, he's pretty much the other top babyface on 205 Live. So, what is that sound? Okay, that's outside. I just want to make sure people are shooting fireworks out there, even though it's not 4th of July. That is how my neighborhood is, people. They will celebrate anything. I'm telling you, anything. But I digress. I was hearing something like going off. Like, that was weird. I was saying, so we finally gonna get the match. It's gonna be Akira Tozawa versus Neville for the Cruiserweight title. It's hard to say. I mean, they could pull the trigger and finally let Neville lose. Who's gonna take the title off of Neville? That's the question. My logic would dictate Enzo Amore out of all people. It might be that person to do it, but Neville has been literally dominated. Nobody can hold a finger. Only the closest person to ever take title away from him. There were two, Jack Gallagher and Austin Aries, but they both lost. And Austin Aries had 3 chances to do it, and sadly failed all 3 times against Neville. So even though they were great matches, those trilogy of matches were amazing. It just, he couldn't do it. So Akira Tozawa, he's the next best chance to do it against Neville. We will see. If it's like what's going to happen, we will definitely find out what's going to happen with Akira Tozawa. So we'll see a Great Balls Fight. This led into 205 Live, which we will definitely talk about. Then we move on to the main event. As the title of the video says, for this week's episode, the theme was women's wrestling because the whole week was made by women. For this case, and I believe, and I wish Ron was here so he can pretty much talk about this as well. I feel like Davey actually watches our podcast because I said last week, and I have my episode itself is the proof of it. Last week, I definitely said they should have a gauntlet match, and the winner will face Alexa Bliss for the women's title. And what did they do this week for the first time ever? The women had a gauntlet match. First time ever women was in a gauntlet match. I called it. So they announced for Raw the main event was going to make up for that travesty of what we saw on Raw last week. The women literally did nothing for 5 minutes. It was just whatever the hell that was to make up for it. They main evented Raw with a gauntlet match to no one contender for Alexa Bliss at Great Balls of Fire. So it was in this order: Bayley, Nia Jax, Dana Brooke, Mickie James, Emma, and Sasha Banks. They did battle. So first off, kudos to Nia Jax. She ran the gauntlet. Her and Bayley was the first two competitors, and less than a couple minutes, Bayley lost. So again, the burial of Bayley continues. By God, Bayley, what the hell happened to you? It was just less than a couple minutes. Mickie James suffered the same fate in a couple minutes. She lost, and Dana Brooke, it was less than a minute, less than, I think, 30 seconds. She lost too. And Emma as well. I forgot the order. It was Bayley, then it was Mickie James, then it was Emma, and then, wait, hold on. What was the order? Yeah, it was Mickie James, Dana Brooke, and then Emma. And then, last but not least, we had the last one, which was Sasha Banks. And those two actually put on an actual match. And it was very good. I mean, the way it was booked, Sasha Banks is the small underdog against the giant, well, at least for women, Nia Jax. And it was booked amazing. And Nia Jax was dominant. She would not stay down. So the boss said, screw it. She was going to go for the, try to go for the bank statement. Obviously, she couldn't put it in. So instead, she kind of did like to sleep her hole when she jumped on Nia, and she was able to bring her down to her knees and just trying to choke the life out of her. And eventually Nia gave out and she tapped after like a good minute or two of just saying no, she won't do it. And because of that, Sasha Banks won the gauntlet match, and she will officially face Alexa Bliss. So then Kurt Angle even came out and congratulated Sasha Banks for a job well done. Alexa Bliss came out. She stared down Sasha Banks held the title. Sasha Banks pretty much kicked her. Right, she either kicked her, punched her, did something. She took the Raw Women's title room to say, just get out the ring. She was holding the Raw Women's title up in the air, probably signaling, like, again, great next week, a Great Balls of Fire is going to end for you. And now it's official. Great Balls of Fire. Next Sunday, it's going to be the Raw Women's title. Alexa Bliss defending her Raw Women's title against Sasha Banks at Great Balls of Fire. What a main event on Raw, though. This greatly made up for what they did to Raw women last week. Like this, they put them in the spotlight. I don't know, they intentionally did this because, again, the whole week was based around women's wrestling, probably because they had that huge match on Smackdown for the women's Money in the Bank. They needed something big for Raw to say, for like, why not the gauntlet match? It probably was never meant to be the main event. They just said, screw it. Might as well make it the whole week because the NXT, they had the main event. NXT for the last women's standing match. So there's a might as well, right? So yeah, what a showing for all these women. I mean, I'm kidding myself. It was really only Nia Jax and Sasha Banks that put on the real show here. Sadly, Bayley. I was pulling for Dana Brooke too. I mean, I am a Dana Brooke fan. I was actually pulling for her, but they tarnished anything that I thought was going to happen. So yeah. Anyway, great showing from the women on Raw. So yeah, that was it for Raw. So we will be talking about SmackDown. I will be right. I'm gonna get something to drink. I might get something to drink. I'm buying you something to drink. I'm gonna get my last drink, and then we'll just. So that was Raw, guys. Let me go on this quick break, real quick, and I will be back. We'll cover the rest of the shows. SmackDown, 205 Live, and NXT. All right, guys, I'm back. I'm fucking sweating. It's so hot. I have the fan on, but it's doing nothing. Like, first of all, let's check the weather, shall we? Weather. The humidity. It's 74 degrees, but the humidity is 91. For God's sakes. No wonder it's so high. Like, 71 would have been something, but for God's sakes, humidity over here is 91, and it's already 9 o'clock. Like, that says a lot of how hot it is. For God's sake. We'll push through it. I've been through worse. Start off with Smackdown. Again, the main thing going into this was the Smackdown Women's Money in the Bank, which featured Carmella, Natalya, the rematch from Money in the Bank. Carmella, Natalya, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Tamina had a rematch to determine the official, true first ever women's Money in the Bank. First of all, Carmella came out again and James Over to pretty much explain their side of the story again, saying how they got robbed out of the women's Money in the Bank. It should be theirs. They earned every right. There's nothing in the rule book that says that what James Over did was not legal. Dan Bryan came out. He was saying, again, he would like to reiterate that Carmella brought up some good points, but this has never before happened where someone who was never even in the match grabbed the briefcase for the other person. That never happened. Sure, people interfered before, but never before as an outsider who is not competing in a match actually grabbed the briefcase. This case, James Ellsworth, who, again, first off, he's a guy, and this was for the women, so yeah, so because of that, then Jamie over, he got in Dan Bryan's face. He was saying he was really talking some smack, no pun intended. And then Dan Bryan said, you know, James, I'm not even going to ban you from ringside. He's going to ban him from the whole building. So that way he was going to have a true winner for the Money in the Bank. So Jane Elwood's ban, it was just literally we're going to have a decisive winner for the women's Money in the Bank match. So there's that. Then we had the Usos versus the Hype Bros. I sadly missed the match because at that point I was getting my food, so I missed the match. I went quicker than I thought because when I came back up, the Hype Bros lost. So there goes the momentum that they were trying to build, I guess, because Zack Ryder, it was pretty much supposed to be his return thing. They look at that rematch shot. It didn't even happen because they're gone. I mean, they beat him very, I guess, convincingly. It must have been a quick match because, again, when I came back up, it was a wrap. So I have no idea what happened. So Usos won. New Day came out. They announced, hey, guys, guess what? Because what you did, we are still number one contender. So at Battleground, which is SmackDown's next pay-per-view, they will be fighting him again for the SmackDown Tag Team title. Usos says whatever. And then they got into an interesting scenario where they started rapping against each other. And then Big E, again, this is why New Day is all awesome. He referenced what happened the day before on Raw. Well, mainly, not even that, just Booker T, the whole famous thing, Booker T. He was like, he's going to say, obviously, he's going for the Usos. We're coming, he's like, we're coming for those SmackDown titles. We're coming for you. He's going to say the N-word. But there was Kobe stopped. He would say, we're coming for you, Usos. We're coming for you, Usos. Hopefully, people in the crowd got that joke. I don't think they really did, but that's besides the point. But eventually, this just led up to next week when they officially announced it's going to be a rap battle between the New Day and Usos. Oh, this is going to be interesting. I never thought I would be this much excited for a rap battle. I don't even listen to rap. My music consists of all the music that was in WWE. So if it was featured in WWE, I listened to it, as well as Japanese music. So that's my interest in music. So yeah. Overall, this was, the match itself, I can't tell you. I guess it went very quickly because let me tell you, I didn't even see the match. It was ended faster than I thought. So yeah. We move on to the SmackDown Women's Championship rematch, which was Naomi versus Lana. And it went quickly as the previous match because actually, at least I actually saw this one before the match technically even started. Lana attacked Naomi and then bell rung. Lana hit her finishing move. What was it? What is it called? I guess her move is not called anything yet. She didn't finish her. It didn't even work. She kicked her out too. Naomi was able to fight back. She hit her with the moonsault, and once it was over, it literally was less than like 2 minutes. I'm not even exaggerating. It was literally less than 2 minutes. However, the key thing here is that Lana, when Naomi was pinning her, her hand was up and she circled it out. So yeah, because of that, next week for the third time in a row, it's going to be Naomi versus Lana for the SmackDown Women's title. And I actually believe this time Naomi is going to lose her title now. She's actually going to lose her title. Lana's actually going to win the SmackDown Women's title. Lana, so she's become our new champion, which will be cool, I guess. I mean, it's something new. Yeah, I was just watching some daily live video that they're doing. Hype Rose was in it, so I quickly clicked away because that doesn't mean anything. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. Ania Maria, I'm commented. Jalith will pin Hangman Page advance to the second round. Okay. Tell me exactly if I'm still in the air, if Kenny Omega wins or not. Ania Marie and Whale judging rap. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, so Whale is gonna be judging rap battle on SmackDown as well. That should be interesting. Exactly. Thank you again, Marie. Nina Marie. I said Eva Marie. Nina Marie. Will be judging the rap battle on SmackDown. I completely forgot about that. So thank you. But yeah, but again, for the third time in a row, Naomi will be defending her title against Lana. I think this time Lana will become the SmackDown champion. There's no reason to give it to her 3 times, give her 3 opportunities this close to each other. And they're not building the story that she's going to actually cheat. She probably might cheat to win this time, and she's going to win the SmackDown Women's title. So that should be interesting. I predict that she will win. Then we get on to the segment of the night, in my opinion, because Randy Orton came out and he explained how he's not done with Jinder Mahal after what he did. He won his revenge. He still won a shot at the WWE title. So man came out. He said, "Look, man, I get it. The Singh brothers, they are the issue. Their main reason why you're not the champion anymore. Main reason why you failed to get it again. But this is not the way to go about the way you've been doing it. Just attacking him. However, this is not how it goes. You can't threaten people like that." And he said, "Fine, he will give him." Even if he can basically, even if he fired to come after Jinder Mahal, and he said, fine, he'll give him his championship opportunity again, but this time Jinder Mahal gets to pick the stipulation. Jinder Mahal came out and he said the stipulation is going to be a match which was designed for his hero, his hero. Oh yeah, first of all, side note, Eddie English was out before Randy Orton RKO'd him. Anyway, he said his hero, Great Khali, this match was made for him when he first did it. So, yeah, at Great Balls of Fire, I said Great Balls of Fire, at Battleground, it will be for the WWE Championship. Jinder Mahal will defend his title against Randy Orton one more time. And a Punjabi prison match. A Punjabi prison match. We haven't seen Punjabi prison match in a decade. There's only been 2 Punjabi prison matches. Both of them are pretty much horse shit, and that's sad coming from me because one of the people who were featured in the match was The Undertaker. They were pretty much horse shit. The first match was, again, it was meant to be Great Khali versus The Undertaker. That didn't even happen because Great Khali wasn't medically even clear to compete in the match, so they threw Big Show into the mix. Then the second match was Great Khali versus Batista, which was meh. So I feel like this is going to be the better Punjabi prison match because again we have 2 more athletic people, with Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton. So we'll see how that goes. But I mean, hey, I find it the most interesting because Battleground is in my hometown in Philadelphia. So it will be here. So the fact that they're bringing the Punjabi prison here is just amazing. So I wish I can go, and I wish I was able to go to Battleground so I could see this match, witness it myself in live person. It will be in our city in Philadelphia, so. Hey, sadly, I won't be able to be there, but I'll be there in spirit. I will be watching pay-per-view. Obviously, it's in our home city of Philadelphia, so yeah. But Punjabi prison. Oh my god. Oh my god. However, I do want to point out one thing, which I will get to after I get to the other. Is this in my list of stuff? No. Okay. Let me point out something that I would love to point out real quick. Okay, so since I live in Philadelphia, when I was watching Smackdown, they aired a bad. This was prior to them announcing the Punjabi prison match. They announced what was happening at Battleground. They advertised the match as Battleground. Mind you, this was right before Randy Orton's segment. They announced it would be two matches. They didn't say Punjabi prison match though. They said it was going to be Jinder Mahal defending his title against Randy Orton in a rematch. Mind you, they themselves never officially announced that. They announced it within like the next 20 minutes, but my local TV advertised it beforehand. And they also advertised, which again defeats the purpose of next week's Independence Day Battle Royal. So on SmackDown, they announced with AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, since Kevin Owens saying AJ Styles deserved another shot. He's thereby said, okay, next week will be Independence Day Battle Royal. Whoever wins will become the number one contender. At Kevin Owens will face him at Battleground. The issue with that, Battleground, they already advertised it's going to be AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens for the United States title. So this Independence Battle Royal means absolutely nothing because I already know AJ Styles is going to win. Mind you, I have no issue with AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens for the United States title again because they put on a phenomenal match at Backlash, and they're going to do it again at freaking Battleground. And I'm so happy because it'd be in my city. I wish I was there live, but it's just the issue. I one thing that I think that we kind of need to work on, tell their people that they're hosting the pay-per-view with to hold spoilers as much as possible because again, before Randy Orton came out, I already knew it was going to happen. I already knew it was going to be Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton before they even announced it. And then now the next week's battle. This is how you can tell it wasn't. They probably did this by accident because, again, they already advertised in my local on my local channel where I live, my local city, to say since I'm in Philadelphia, they have advertisers here cater to us. It was showing Battleground. They said it's going to be AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens for the United States title. So this Battle Royal means absolutely nothing because I already know AJ Styles is going to win it. I mean, granted, from a booking perspective, I should have saw from the very beginning AJ Styles will again. This just confirmed the fact that he will win because they already advertised it. Because WWE obviously tells them the matches prior to them coming, so they'll know what to advertise. But hey, I'm just saying that you kind of work on how you tell your people or venue people what the match, or try to keep it hidden as much as possible. Because again, I already know both of these matches before WWE announced it themselves. So I'm just saying that was just one side I just wanted to give out. Then we had Baron Corbin versus Sami Zayn. And thank you, Nina Marie, for telling me that. Hold on for a second. Yeah. Anyway, what you call it? Moving on to Baron Corbin saying anything out. The interesting part about this was before the match even started, Maria and Mike Kanellis, they came out again. They was going to talk about the power of love, but Sami Zayn interrupted them. It was hilarious because they were saying he didn't realize they were standing there. She was like, "Are you serious right now?" And he was like, "Oh, my bad. I have a match I have to go to." So clearly, Mike Canellis' first match is going to be against Sami Zayn. His first feud is probably going to be against Sami Zayn. It's probably going to happen at Battleground, too. It looks like Baron Corbin's going to be focusing on Shinsuke Nakamura, so it's probably going to be Sami Zayn versus Mike Canellis in his debut match at Battleground. Anyway, but the match up between Baron Corbin and Sami Zayn, it was a hard-hitting match, to say the least, for sure. But again, Baron Corbin is Mr. Money in the Bank, so obviously he's going to be booked to be strong anyway. So Baron Corbin, he did beat Sami Zayn. Again, I'm a huge fan of Baron Corbin. I'm glad he won Money in the Bank. Shinsuke Nakamura was watching backstage, so this is gonna lead into Battleground. Probably, the match is not confirmed yet, but it probably gonna lead into Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin 1-on-1 Battleground. So we'll see if that happens. They moved on to the main event itself, which was the rematch, the Women's Money in the Bank rematch. Charlotte, Becky, Carmella, Natalya, and Tamina. Very amazing match. What a main event. These women pulled out all the stops. I feel like this match was better than their one at Money in the Bank. I mean, that match itself was amazing, just minus the ending. This match itself was probably even better. Dare I say even better than that one. The woman pulled out all the stops again. And again, one thing I love about Money in the Bank, again, a further developed storyline. So now we know probably the next feud is going to be Natalya versus Charlotte. And I don't know what Tamina's going to be doing. But basically how the end of the match went was James Ellsworth, he somehow got back into the arena. He was pretty much going to do the same exact thing as did at Money in the Bank with getting Carmella briefcase. He was standing up. Becky Lynch said no. She pushed the ladder to the side, making James Ellsworth fall with between the ropes in his legs. So obviously he was hurting very badly. Looked like Becky Lynch was going to win. However, Carmella was able to hit her with a chair with her injured leg, and she kind of injured her leg during the match. She hit her in her legs, which let Carmella win again. So she officially became with the undisputed women's Money in the Bank winner. So yeah. What a match is greatly made up for the ending. So now we know for a definitive winner to we know that a definitive winner to the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Carmella won, so she's officially women's Money in the Bank. But what a match between all the women. Again, the women this week literally pulled out all the stops in the main event. This clearly shows that they can do because just as well as the men do, and they're clearly showing it this week. What an amazing week for women wrestling this week in AUE. And that was SmackDown. Let's move on to 205 Live. Something very interesting. Jack Gallagher, he fought by Kendrick because now I don't know where they're going to this. No, I'm sorry, I was drinking that. Jack Gallagher was supposed to be Brian Kendrick. But prior to this, Jack Gallagher was talking backstage to, I forgot her name. He was saying how Brian Kendrick is a master of mind games. Sure enough, he is. Because Brian Kendrick, we haven't seen him since he fought Kira Tozawa. So Brian Kendrick came out. He came out to Jack Gallagher's music. He was dressed up. He was pretty much a British, like a stereotypical British person. And he was talking like one. He was pretty much making fun of Jack Gallagher, saying, "You're just a knockoff of William Regal and whatever." And he hates it. So the match didn't even really happen because Brian Kendrick hit Akira with the umbrella pretty much to go for disqualification, and he just beat the hell out of him. So Brian Kendrick was upset. I was mad at him because, again, he was just a disgrace to William Regal. So obviously now our next feud is with Jack Gallagher and Brian Kendrick, which should be interesting. Aries. I don't know where's Aries is. It looks like he's cleared to compete because Aries was at live events this past week in Japan and triple threat matches between Tozawa and Neville. So I can only imagine that Aries is good. So he might be feuding with Tony Nese. So who knows? Who knows for sure what's going to happen? So yeah, they're that overall. That hey, next feud, Jack Gallagher versus Brian Kendrick, that should be interesting. At least this gives Brian Kendrick something to do now since his feud with Kira Tozawa is done. Gives him something Jack Gallagher to do, so we'll find out. Mustafa Ali versus Drew Gulak. Again, a rematch from their previous match last week. I thought that was going to be a blow-off match. Apparently it wasn't. Again, Mustafa Ali was able to win again. Drew Gulak was trying to go for a high offense move, that didn't work. He hates high flying. So obviously it wasn't going to work out for him very well. And sure enough, it really didn't, because Mustafa Ali, he was able to counteract it again, and he was able to beat Mustafa. He was able to beat Drew Gulak. So we're probably might lead into one more match between the three. I said between the two. Who might come out on top? I think Drew Gulak, he might need it more. So overall, it was a good match. Again, 205 Live puts on I'm not saying amazing match. They put on solid matches. I just wish there was a crowd for it. Just saying. So yeah. Then we had Avar Davari versus Cedric Alexander. This is the main reason why, because not really. I mean, these two really didn't have beef just because no one's acting through Avar Davari's bag into the ocean. He meant to do it against Cedric. Avar Davari said, "Hey man, you pretty much owe me one because of what you did." So yeah. Hold on. Yeah, you pretty much owe me one. So yeah, I guess he owed him a favor, because during the match, Noam Dar was able to come out and distract Cedric Alexander, and because of that, Avar actually got a big win over Cedric Alexander. So I don't know if this is the next feud. I guess feud to Noam Dar Cedric Alexander is not over. Actually, it might be over, because I think it is. I think it is officially over. I was correction. Finally, this 9-month freaking feud is over, because Noam Dar attacked Cedric Alexander, and he said, "We are officially through now. Our business now is officially done. We can move on." Him at least fighting with Cedric Alexander and just move on for Cedric Alexander. I think now Cedric Alexander is going to focus on Avar Davari now, which I'm glad this whole leash, because this was the longest storyline on 205 Live, and that was ridiculous. So I just wish, again, as I said, this would have led to a number one contenders match. Noam Dar should have won it, so at least become the number one contender for the Cruiserweight title. Just saying. When we do these types of still long-term storyline, at least this came out with Brian Kidd, even though they didn't officially say it, pretty much happened with Brian Kidd and Akira Tozawa. That long feud that they had, at least it came out with Akira Tozawa becoming the number one contender for the Cruiserweight title. So at least this came out with something for Akira Tozawa, which they pretty much did exactly what I said they should have done. They did it like unofficially. They did it. Neville came out. He was saying how Akira Tozawa, you're pretty much poking the bear here. You have no idea who you're up against. Akira Tozawa came out and just kept pretty much saying ha ha ha. Akira Tozawa's famous his pretty much catchphrase to wild up the crowd. So Neville kept saying stop. He's getting annoyed. Neville tried to attack him. Akira Tozawa was able to get the upper hand, and Akira Tozawa looked down and over Neville while Neville had to retreat, and that ended. So who knows? Akira Tozawa might become the next heavyweight champion. Will he be the one to finally do what nobody else could possibly do? That is beat Neville and overthrow him and take the cruiserweight title away from him. Who knows? Now we won NXT again, which was main evented by women again. So first off, Velveteen Dream versus Holo Loon. Finally, Holo Loon actually shows up. He was originally supposed to be part of 205 Live. That clearly is not a thing anymore. Velveteen Dream, which is again originally Patrick Clark. He was dominant. This was a squash match for him. So Velveteen Dream did his elbow drop, and that was pretty much it for there. Then we had Hideo Itami versus Oney Lorcan. Now, originally with the first match, they had to do this twice, because the first match, when the match literally started, Oney Lorcan elbowed the shit out of Hideo Itami, which busted Hideo Itami's nose open. They had to stop the match right after the commercial break. Hideo Itami came back out with stuff in his nose so he can actually continue the match. Oney Lorcan came out again. So they actually had a match, and Hideo Itami actually won that one. But by God, Hideo Itami's nose was broken, and you can tell. And he was like legit pissed, but at least he was actually able to finish the match. Shows how tough both men actually are, to be completely honest with you. Hideo Itami called out Cassius Ohno so he could just talk to him. That we will never know where that would lead to, because Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf and Nick Charles of Sanity came out, and they pretty much took out both Cassius and Hideo Itami and Alexander Wolf. It's an interesting promo, to say the least, because finally they were saying how we are pretty much going to cause chaos. Pretty much was their post just to begin with, but they've officially confirmed it. And one interesting note. Now, after knowing what happened, Eric Young, the reason why Eric Young wasn't at the NXT taping was because his mother was ill and sadly she passed away. So I send my condolences to Eric Young and his mom, and may she rest in peace. I do apologize, Eric Young, because I can imagine losing my mom. I probably know what I would do, so I could just imagine. But Alexander Wolf, that's the main reason why Eric Young was at taping. But this might lead into something because Alexander Wolf was saying how our maestro, Eric Young, our leader, is starting his great plan. I don't know what that entails. I don't know what the great plan is, but he said it starts with her, and he pointed to Nikki Cross. And Nikki Cross was gonna go against Asuka for the NXT Women's title. But I think the master plan Eric Young's talked about is for Sanity to take all the gold. I mean, Eric Young becoming the NXT champion, Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf becoming NXT tag team champions, and they Cross kind of women's champion. So Sanity will literally, I feel like, again, the whole reason why they have that group in the first place, so they could have all the gold on NXT. They'll literally be the dominant stable that has all the gold, even the women's title. And they'll literally have all the gold. So there's that. Next week, because of that, though, will be Hideo Itami and Cassius Ohno versus Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf and Sanity. So then we had our main event. Again, amazing match. Asuka versus Nikki Cross in the first ever last women's standing match for the NXT Women's title. And by God, what an amazing match. These women put out all the stuff. This was literally Nikki Cross. I think this was her moment. This is when she arrived. Like, again, they certainly like used back in the day was arrived. Like, this is pretty much their standout moment. Nikki Cross, what a showing, what a performance by Nikki Cross. She can really, this was really much her first time she had opportunity one-on-one against the NXT Women's title. So just really showed her what she can do. By God, by freaking God, what a showing. What a showing. I mean, just amazing performance for I'm just looking through these photos of Asuka of all her wins. All right. So, yeah, what an amazing performance from Asuka. I mean, just literally. And before the match ended was when they were fighting near the announcer. She said, by the way, tomorrow. No, I was back. I said that last week. Then that fighting near announcer, when they cross up the ladder, she's going to put Asuka through her table that she set up. However, Asuka said, screw that. She did a suplex and put her both. They went both through the announce table. Asuka was able to get up first. So Asuka is still the NXT Women's Champion. Who the hell is going to stop Asuka? We have no idea. So now she's going in to take over Brooklyn as NXT Women's Champion. With the real question, who will she face? Nikki Cross had her chance. Who's going to play is probably going to be Ember Moon. So she will be Ember Moon filing dethrone Asuka. And there you go. That was NXT, people. And that was pretty much this week in wrestling. Thank you guys for watching. Sadly, again, Ron had to leave early, which I do hope everything's okay with Ron. I'm going to definitely check up on him as soon as this is over. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching, forever watched. Again, Nina Marie, thank you for always showing up for every podcast. I do definitely appreciate it. It's very much appreciated. Really, it really is. So, thank you, Nina Marie. I actually might make you my moderator. So yeah, thank you again. Really appreciate it. Okay, contact her. I can't. So actually, yeah, thank you for showing up, Nina Marie. If you like today's episode, guys, make sure that like button, comment down below. And yeah, subscribe to the channel. See you guys next week for our Great Balls of Fire predictions. Will just be me because Ron already said he won't be here next week. So Ron definitely have his predictions ready. So we'll see you guys next week for the Great Balls of Fire predictions episode for this week in wrestling. Otherwise, guys, this is Crater signing off. Catch you guys later. See ya.